The stalagmite terrain biome times 2, actually. Cause yes, folks, our dip back into biome guides begins with the twofer, as not only must we talk the normal stalagmite terrain, we must talk the tall stalagmite terrain as well. And they may share a name, but by golly, they don't share much else, so let's talk. And we should begin with why they're called what they're called. That being them being chock full of stalagmites. What you see here are normal stalagmites, and there are 3 levels of these boulders: full, medium, and low. Full stalagmites always drop 3 rocks, 1 flint, and 1 gold, with chances to get additional pieces of the latter 2 minerals. Not only that though, there is a 5% chance to get a red or blue gem, and a 10% chance at fossils, some of which we'll be talking about later. So for now, know that medium stalagmites cannot drop gems, drop 1 less rock, and only have a 50% chance at dropping gold. Low stalagmites, on the other hand, have a 25% chance to drop gold, only drop a single rock, and have even lower chances to get additional flint, and so on. Medium and low stalagmites, though, still drop fossils, so keep that in mind. But what about these puppies, Beard? Spilagmites. Well, friend, think of them as the spider dens of the caves that may only hold a maximum of 3 spiders, sure. But said spiders aren't your ordinary web slingers. Most of what you will see are called cave spiders. One-eyed freaks that actually hide in their shells during combat, absorbing 75% of the damage taken while they're in it. Best to stop hitting them come this time, unless you've got a hand bat or something, and just wait for them to come out of the shell very, very soon. These guys are really the easy ones. Spitters, on the other hand, could cause you some issues. They have a 33% chance to spawn from stalagmites and are ranged attackers for the most part. So my advice is to target them, close the distance, and kill them as soon as possible. Kinda just still treating them like you would any other spider is good, because these cave spider variants, yeah, may be scary, but they're just spiders. Don't overthink them. You can even just instantly trap them via traps to kill them instantly if that suits you. But to be rid of stalagmites, you gotta mine them. And after just 2 hits with the pickaxe, you actually prevent any more additional spider spawns from occurring down the line. But of course, as you continue to mine them, you can get rocks, a chance at a couple pieces of silk, a chance at spider glands, and a really good chance at fossils or 2 fossils. In fact, stalagmites offer the best chance for fossils in the entire game because there's a 100% chance at least 1 fossil each den. Very nice. Oh, but before we venture on, you should know that even though we ain't in the ruins, that don't mean we are safe from some ruin mechanics, like the nightmare cycle, for example. I would love to do a video on this nightmare cycle in full. So for now, know that once the nightmare phase actually hits, there may be some activity in and around these biomes with some nightmare fissures. So be very careful. But let us move on to tall stalagmites and their biome, shall we? Tall stalagmites also have 3 levels to them, with full tall stalagmites having roughly the same loot table as normal stalagmites, only we have a 5% chance to get a log to drop as well, and red gems are the only type of gem to potentially be available from mining these. Medium tall stalagmites see those chances disappear, along with significantly dropping our chance to get gold down to 15%. And finally, low tall stalagmites don't change at all too much, apart from the lower chances to get additional flint for the most part. And yes, all 3 levels can once again drop fossils 10% of the time. But boulders ain't the only difference between biomes here. Batcaves join the mix too. They are not super common, so this stalagmite terrain biome is actually really safe for the most part. And Batcaves themselves can only spawn up to 4 basilisks at a time, so there's that too. Oh, you can't destroy them though, in case you were wondering. And as far as these hostile rat with wings themselves, they are embarrassingly easy to understand and handle. So much so that I really see no real reason for discussing them much further. Their waste, however, could prove useful. Guano will be a pretty darn good indicator of where exactly these bat caves might be within these tall stalagmite biomes, as the ground is just going to be covered in crap, literally. Because the bloody turf of this tall stalagmite biome is actually guano turf. Guano, though, itself, is 1.5 times better than manure when it comes to fertilization. So grabbing some while down here could actually help out down the line. Big tentacles may also call these biomes home, albeit that will be up to world generation for the most part. As we know, though, big tentacles are the wormholes of the caves. They make certain tentacle loot renewable and even lead to the atrium, the final location of the game, essentially. Very good, just don't get slapped. And speaking of world gen, one may or may not see overlap with bats here and there and other mob spawns in these biomes, as again, they're technically the same biomes, but we won't speak on this and like maybe the potential for dangling death dwellers and all that, because again, it's gonna be different for everyone. Just be prepared and remain vigilant regardless. But before we wrap up today, let us not forget about fossils. We now know where they come from. But what exactly is their purpose? Well, combining 8 of them allows us to build 3 different variants of the odd skeleton, either for decoration or for a far greater purpose, the ancient fuel weaver. You will need to construct the correct skeleton in order to access this fight. So, keep that in mind. We have a 60% chance at creating said correct odd skeleton here, with a 20% chance of making any of the wrong versions. That said, fossils have tremendous use outside of all this as well. Like how they can block mobs with absolute ease. Heck, even some big bads outside of Berger will struggle with these tiny pseudo walls. So, have at it. They are quite advantageous. And there you have it, everyone. The stalagmite terrain biomes of Don't Starve Together. They may not look like much, but they play a pretty significant role within the game via those fossils alone. But enjoy many types of minerals, many types of spiders, flimsy bats, and just more along the way. Oh, and don't forget the nightmares as well. But thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.